Good morning, guys. Yeah, it's morning this side. This is KYKS. Nice to meet you. So today we are looking at the timeline panel. So as we discussed, let's begin. As we discussed, the timeline panel is this section that is being highlighted by the blue color in the borders. So this is the timeline, this is the project panel. So in the timeline, this is where most things happen. For example, editing of videos, shortening, so forth, and adding effects. All these things happen in our timeline. So please be attentive. So in the timeline, we work on compositions and layers. Layers are inside compositions. So let's begin. In order for us to work on our files which are in the project panel, we drag and put in our timeline. Remember, we haven't yet created a composition. So if we drag an image inside the timeline without a composition, it will create a composition with the same attributes as the image or the file that you have dropped in your timeline. So as you can see here, they have created a composition called image 1, and as we go to our timeline, it's already here image 1, and they have put in our image which is of layer image 1. So if you do not create a composition, it will create for you automatically. So for now, let's first create our composition because we know what that one. If you want to undo, is Control Z on your or Control Z on your keyboard. So let's create our composition. You come to this icon if you don't know, or you come to composition and create a composition. So let's name it composition, and it has a dimensions 1920 by 1080. It goes for 3 minutes and background black. So as you can see, they've created for us our composition called composition. Now if we want to put layers, or if we want to edit, as we said, one of them is get your image, drop it in our timeline, it goes to our composition, or you can get your video or image, come drop it in our composition, and our video will be dropped inside our composition. So there are two ways, one dragging here and another one dragging in our composition. As you can see, our video is small. Our video is of 640 by 360 pixels, and our composition was 1920 by 1080 pixels. Now for us to make our video big as our composition, we come and select it here, then we click one of the points. After clicking it, press shift on your keyboard and expand. It will expand proportionally. If we don't press shift, as you can see, it will expand, but it will expand in a weird way. So you press here on one of the corners and press shift and expand your video or your image. As you can see, it did fit our composition. Now as you can see, every time we do things in our timeline, they are being seen on our composition. So the timeline and the composition are connected. Every time you do anything here, you'll be seeing it right here. So as you can see, our image is not being seen in our video or in our composition. Why? Because these layers in our timeline are stacked on top of each other. They are put on top of each other. So if you want to see the image, you either come here, shift it on top, drag and shift it on top. As you can see, it has been seen. If you want to see the video, drag the video and shift it on top. But the other simplest way, if you don't want to shift, for example, there's this section here with an eye. If I want to see my image, I can make the video disappear by pressing the eye. As you can see, the video has disappeared. Now I can see the image. I can bring it back and I see my video again. So this one is for seeing and unseeing. So we have seen all these things. So now let's go to inbuilt layers in Adobe After Effects. These ones we are getting images and files from the project panel and dropping, and they create layers. Now we are going to look at layers in our Adobe After Effects. So let's first delete these ones. Now there are layers in Adobe Effects. If you want to access them, there are different ways. Either come here, layer, and access you go to new and access different layers, or you can come to our timeline, right click, new, you go to layers, there is text, solid, camera. So let's start with text. For example, the text words, and we write BuzenGraphics. Then we click on the side, we come and use this selector and drag our layer. As you can see, sorry, graphics, not graphics. BuzenGraphics. So then another layer we can create is new layer. We go to solid, we choose the color we want, and it has to be the size or any size you want, but now it's the size of a composition. And we click OK. As you can see, it has created a blue layer or blue solid. As you can see, the blue solid is on top of BuzenGraphics. For us to see our BuzenGraphics work, we come and drop it down here and we see our graphics. The another layer, the last one we can create for now, is the camera. Cameras, like cameras, the way you hear them, we can use cameras in After Effects, but they work on 3D objects, and this is 2D object. But we shall also learn about it. As you can see, the camera has been created. So now what we are going to look at now next is this section here. This one was for layers. We have looked at it a lot, but we shall keep on looking. For example, there are other things that we have to explain here and use. The next one we shall look at is this section on the right, which is our timeline time. So now let's bring our video for us to explain it more better. So let's bring our video, drop it in here, and expand it. Click shift and expand our video accordingly. Now we are looking at this section here, the timeline. This blue thing I'm shifting here, the one you are seeing, is called, if you hover on it, it's called a current time indicator. It indicates the position in time you are in. As you can see, my video keeps on changing as I shift it at different times. Now this timeline indicator has also what we call here a time code. This time code, as I shift my timeline indicator here, as you can see, this section here, it's also changing. As you can see, it's changing. If I reach on this minutes, it shows me. If I go to, like, for example, 1 minute, to come here and shows you have reached at 1 minute 0005 frames. So this time code here, as we say, these are frame rates, these are seconds, these are minutes, and these are hours. If I hover on it and scroll, as you can see, also my timeline will be moving. If I scroll on the top of it, my timeline will be moving correspondingly. So the way like the composition is connected to the timeline, this time code is also connected to the timeline. For example, if I want to go to like 1 minute 15 seconds and 15 frames, I'll just come here, double click on it. I can either wrap this or put my numbers directly in it, but the simplest way, you can say 1 minute 01, 1 minute 15 seconds 15 frames. As you can see, it's 1 minute 15 seconds 15 frames, and it has gone straight to where we want it here, right here, as you can see. So as the another thing that we can look at is as you can see, our video here, our video goes, when we highlight our video here on top here, it goes for 7 minutes 25 seconds 05 frames. But our composition, like, remember, we created it for 30 minutes. So you see our composition starts from 0, it goes to 3 minutes, not 30 minutes, 3 minutes, it goes for 3 minutes. So it means the video is longer than our composition. So if we want to cut out that video, those minutes, for example, want to cut it to up to 2 minutes 30 seconds, we can trim it or cut it. So the way of cutting it is you highlight it and go to your keyboard, you press alternate and the bracket key, the right bracket key, and as you can see, the remaining part on this section has been cut off. We have been left with this section. Alternate bracket key, the one that you use in Photoshop to reduce the brush size. So if you want also to cut this section out, this section extreme left, you say alternate, you click alternate left bracket key on your keyboard. So when you press it, as you can see, it has been cut off. So we have been left with the middle part. If you see that you've cut off a lot and you want to put it back, you come to the extreme end and you can stretch it to the size that you want. You can trim and stretch. So that's also very important. So the last part we are looking at is this section here. It's called the time navigator. When I come to the time navigator and reduce it to, like, for example, 2 minutes 30 seconds, it means that my video, when I play it will come and stop at 2 minutes 30 seconds. It will not go any further because my time navigator has stopped there as well. When you create the time navigator is always extreme end, but if I'll say my video I want it to stop like at 2 minutes. 2 minutes. If I render my video, be sure to my customers it will stop on 2 minutes exactly because my timeline navigator stops there. So I advise you, if you're using After Effects and you want your video to be played whole, your time navigator should be fully sized. Thank you for watching. I think that's all. Please like my video, like also like my other videos, and also subscribe to my channel. I remain KYKS. Thank you.